Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, all praises, all honor, all glory being to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakak Kwadash. Double honors to our apostles and our elders at Great Millstone that taught us his truth and who are ruling well through the spirit and through the power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom, Salakia, Shalom, peace and love to you, Akim, that are the prophets and the teachers that are set up through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah, who are helping to edify the elect by way of preaching the truth or pushing the truth of the scriptures. Shalom to you believers, you Akim, you Fiakwafim and children. These individuals that we see on the news, that are helping to push Esau's narrative, and his agenda, which ultimately every road leads to the MOTB system. Let me say that one more time. Every single road leads to the MOTB system, being established, in which you have, this particular climate individual. All right, Greta, Thunberg, when she spoke pretty much at the WEF before, and she mentioned something. What exactly did she mention? Salaki, let me get it real fast. Give me just 1 second. I'm gonna grab it. She said, "I don't want you to be hopeful. I want you to panic." Everything, including, how can I say it? I think the best way to put it is that even this climate thing, it all is for what? It's for them to establish, the foundation for the MOTB system. Now, I'm gonna play something so that you can hear it. Salakia, bear with me, Baba Kusha.
Banks, then we can save the world. I mean. It is the money is there. If we can save the banks, then we can save the world.
So you heard what she said. If we could save the banks, we could save the world. And this is a so-called climate activist. So basically, all of this is a part of the SAVE program. The person that put up this particular post or the page, the title that they gave it, if you wonder who writes her scripts, because what does she sound like? She sound like the same other cheap actors, that are set up as actors for the rich elite banking families that are put into certain positions, to basically inspire, people to get on board with the agenda. In the comments, it says full-grown adults are actually clapping this nonsense, brainwashed nation. It says this is weaponized autism. It says if we can destroy the banks, we can save the world. Which when you look at a dollar, and let me pull something up real fast, Baba Kushab, bear with me. This is written directly on the dollar. All right, I type in the debt note dollar, and it says United States note. This note is a legal tender for all debts, public and private, except duties on import and interest on the public debt. So there's a note directly on the dollar, which says that this is a debt note. I'm trying to pull up something so I can actually read it. It says this note, I can't really see that one. Baba Kashab, bear with me. This note is a legal tender for all debts, public and private. But anyways, the United States dollar is a debt note. And every time that you spend it, you generate more and more debt because it's not backed by anything. It's not backed by gold. It's not backed by silver. You know, so ultimately it is a unjust balance. All right, it's a scant measure. And by them printing this through the feds, you know, or the Federal Reserve, every single time they print it, they generate more and more debt. Like, for an example, she spoke on saving the banks. You know, these banks become insolvent. You know, they fail simply for this reason here. You know, when banks buy particular bonds, you know, at a high yield, eventually they turn around and sell them at a lower yield, all right, which causes them to lose out on money. But however, the banks losing out on money eventually leads to them having to be bailed out, you know. And I'm not an economist. I'm not an expert on economy. But when they need to get bailed out, what happens is money is printed by the feds to bail them out, which then leads to inflation. And that inflation leads to them having to buy bonds at a higher yield and sell them at a lower yield. So it's the same repetitive cycle that constantly keeps going on. But then outside of that, you got helicopter money, you got quantitative easing, all right, QE, all right, 1, QE2, QE3, QE4, in which they print money to pretty much pump into, you know, the economy. And what does that do? That generates more and more debt. Or when situations happen like the CPAN and they begin to, you know, print more money, you know, to give people stimulus and things of that nature, that does what? So really what they're trying to do is they're trying to collapse these banks. They're not trying to save them. Oh, if we could save the banks, we could save No, they don't want to save these banks. They want these banks to fail so that people can get on board with the MOTB system. All right. So the same ones that are paying, you know, people like this cheap ass, weak ass actress, all right, and many others, because they ain't nothing but a bunch of fucking actors and actresses. It reminds me of the TV series on Prime called Utopia. You know, when these individuals that they were throwing up in front of everybody's face that were captivating them with their messages, all right, were nothing more but just actors and actresses. Her parents sold her to the propaganda running team, you know, and that's exactly what it is. It's propaganda. All right, let's look up the definition of propaganda. The definition of propaganda is information, especially of bias or misleading nature, used to promote or publicize a particular political cause or point of view. So this is nothing but propaganda. The whole global warming thing ain't nothing but propaganda, because it all leads to the infrastructure being laid for the MOTB system. And part of that infrastructure will entail people receiving a C-hip and the brain C-hip are in their bodies and using that for buying and selling and being under the control of the rich elites. You know, I would get more and more, you know, comments, but however, I'm not working with too much time. All right. So to grab this scripture, this is Matthew 24:51. It says, and shall cut him asunder and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. You know, and a lot of you jakes are going to be destroyed as Esau Edom is going to be destroyed. You know, which this great destruction via the thermonuclear destruction is really set up for them. All right, the only ones of them that are going to make it out of it is the rich elite banking families so that they can be preserved for slavery. But a lot of you jakes follow Esau Edom, so you are going to receive the judgment of the hypocrites. Now, I want to grab the definition for hypocrite within the Greek. All right, which it will be easy to just grab the definition for hypocrite. Let's see. I'm going to grab it in Google and the blue letter. It says that a person who indulges in hypocrisy, are from Greek, hypocrites, hypocrites, an actor. So now grabbing it within the Greek, G5273, hypocrites, and it says one who answers, or an interpreter, an actor, a stage player, a dissembler, pretender, hypocrite. And that's not this chick, Greta, is nothing but a stage player. She's nothing more but an actor or actress for the rich elite banking families, just as Cotton Schwab, just as Yuval Noah Harari, and any other individual that jumps in front of the screen to pretty much push that agenda. All right, they're pushing Esau's propaganda. They're pretenders. And they're pretending as if they have the interest of helping the world, or as if they're trying to save the world. They don't give Esau don't give a damn. He don't really give a fuck about anybody. All right, the earth is mourning because of this devil. Remember that. Before you ever have an inkling of consideration that maybe this devil actually does really care about you. They don't give a fuck. All right, the book of Isaiah, the 26th chapter. And let's see. Actually, is that the 24th chapter? Isaiah 24:5. The earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenant. So this devil has defiled the earth. All right. By way of transgressing the laws of the Heavenly Father and changing the ordinances. The earth is defiled under them. All right. They're the reason that the earth is languishing. All right. They're the reason why, the plants, the animals and the people are languishing. All right. What does it mean to languish? All right, it says of a person or other living things, loss or lack of vitality, grow weak or feeble. All of the pollution that is caused in the earth because of the industrial revolution, because of the plants, because of the mining, these aren't things that we're doing. All right, mining for cobalt and different minerals and oil and gas and, formulating that into something that could be put in vehicles or, plastic, and all of the waste and all of the wars and things that are fighting. This devil is behind that. Remember, the rich elite banking families are behind that. All wars are banker wars. But then they'll throw a bitch like this on TV in front of your face and try to convince that the people are the issue. All right, when the ones that are behind, the commerce and the supply chains and, that are behind the big corporations and are selling these things into the people are the rich elites. So going further into that definition of hypocrites, it says an actor under an assumed character. So she's acting the character as if she really gives a damn, and the others for that matter as well. Now the root word of hypocrites is G5271, hypocrinomai, and it says to take up another statement in reference to what one has decided for oneself. So she's reading a script. All of them are reading scripts. All right, they are nothing but failed Hollywood actors and actresses. To reply, answer, to make answers, speak on the stage, to impersonate anyone, play a part, simulate, fiend, pretend. So they're all playing a part. They're all pretending. All right, and Esau is the big pretender. All right, it states right here within this verse, the book of Sirach 12:17, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee.